you want to just listen, this is going to be recorded. We're going to get started in just a couple of minutes. Thank you so much for joining. Miss Kay is going to be our gatekeeper for the chat as well. So if there's questions as we're going through, you can put those in the chat. We'll try to get to those, but we're going to talk about other opportunities for Q&A because there's a lot that we want to accomplish tonight. Just give it one more minute. Thank you so much for attending our Meet the Teacher night. And again, you don't need to have your screen on if you don't want to. If you do, thank you, teachers, for being smiley faces and participating. How we doing, Miss Kay? Anybody else in the waiting room? We're good to go? All right, so if you could hit record, we are going to be recording this and we will upload this to YouTube. And then you will be able to translate this. We can translate this into a variety of different languages from there. All right, so welcome to the 2021 Meet the Teacher Night. My name is Chris Freisen. I'm the principal here at the Beachmont Veterans Memorial Elementary School. I have some staff members that have joined us for this portion. Thank you for joining. We have Miss Kay, who is our assistant principal here. And really, we just want to spend some time tonight introducing ourselves, introducing priorities for the year and expectations here, and how we can build strong relationships with all of our families here at Beachmont. So something that you will hear me say a lot, and I'm sure teachers are sick of this already, but it's a great day to be a bee. And this is something that we try to remind ourselves of every single day here so that we do our best as teachers, as staff, and also as students. Great day to be a bee. Hopefully we set the bar high for your son or daughter every single day, and we are setting them up for success. So I want to just take a moment to ground our work tonight and our work for the remainder of the year in this mission statement that was created probably 3 or 4 years ago, with I'm sure many of the support from people that are on this call. So the mission of the Beachmont Veterans Memorial School is to provide an engaging learning experience that is rigorous, differentiated, and culturally responsive so that all students reach their full potential. We accomplish this through high academic expectations and an environment that fosters innovative thinking, is supportive of social emotional growth, and cultivates strong relationships with families and communities. So tonight, I think the one thing that I want to say to everybody is a big responsibility for all of us is to stay involved in our child's life, right? So being involved in what's going on in the day-to-day. So just a couple of things of ways that parents can get involved. Be active in your child's education by checking homework, reading to them or with them, and being in contact with the teacher. So tonight's a great opportunity to get in touch with your child's teachers. Join the school's PTO. I can't say that enough. If you have time, please join the PTO. We had an awesome event on Friday, our first community event, and that was put on by the PTO. We are looking for volunteers to support this, and Melissa Embry is our PTO president, but right now it's kind of a PTO of one. So please join if you can, and I will be sending out information for how to be in touch with Melissa, and there's going to be a parent coffee this Thursday with some more information about the PTO. We also have a school improvement council. We would love parents to be involved in that. I want to take a moment to show you our new website. The district spent a lot of time over the summer updating the website. Some of you may have noticed the upgrade, so I'm just going to quickly take us there. Miss K, I'm showing the right screen, just double checking. Okay, thank you. So this has been updated. I think it's very easily accessible. You can translate it into a language of your choice at the bottom, I believe, or maybe it's at the top. But access to school staff, to me as the principal, to Miss K, we have the breakfast and lunch menu, the calendar that will be updated frequently. So this hopefully will become a one-stop shop for parents, and we update this frequently. And that's a goal of mine. Coming back, we will have opportunities to volunteer in your child's class as the year goes on. So if you are interested in that, please do so. If you haven't already done this, download the Class Dojo app to monitor your child's progress. And I sent this out last week, I believe, as an invitation to parents to join Class Dojo. I sent out a couple of announcements last week. If you have not done so, you can email me, and I have information about my email at the end of this presentation. But Class Dojo and Swift K-12 are going to be two ways that I am communicating with families throughout the year. So I want to make sure that we are all on the same page. Arrival information: students may enter the building at 8:20 a.m. and there's an option for a free grab-and-go breakfast. So I just want to make sure that everybody is aware of that. The late bell will ring at 8:35. After this time, students are considered late. So we ask them to check in the main office, we write them a note, and then they go to class. This is very important. If your child will be absent, please call the school, 781-286-8316. And if we don't hear from you, we have a family liaison, a wonderful family liaison, who will get in touch with you to check in to see what's going on, just to make sure that we are all on the same page. Dismissal times. And actually, I'm just going to go back. There might be some pre-K parents. Those doors open at 8:05. So pre-K parents, the doors open at 8:05 for those students. Dismissal times. Our AM pre-K class gets out at 10:35, and then the PM class at 2:05. The K-5 dismissal is at 2:45. Early release days. Our first early release day is actually tomorrow. That is going to be at 11:30 is going to be dismissal. And just quickly, department nights. So typically there's one day a week where teachers are staying a little bit later, that they can provide some extra support for your son or daughter. And this is really by appointment. So it's not going to be kind of on the fly. This would be something that parents would be aware of. But students are able to stay until 3:15, but that would be communication between the teacher and the student. And just so everybody's aware, there's no nurse on duty after. Just quickly, if you are coming into school, we try to do a really good job of making sure that the right people are in school. So you have to show ID. Please show ID when you enter the building. We have updated contact information for every single one of our students. So we want to just make sure that we're double checking that the right person is there to pick up your son or daughter. If there's a meeting that's going on, we want to make sure that that is happening. And sometimes it happens, and we can confirm in different ways as well if you forget your ID. Everybody's favorite, uniforms. Woo! I know that people probably purchased some of these things from Target recently, right? So it's pretty simple, pretty straightforward. Students must wear a uniform every single day. And we are going to have opportunities that the PTO sponsors dress down days for students. So we're looking forward to doing our first dress down day in a couple of weeks. But this is pretty much the uniform. So shirts must be a solid color, longer shirt sleeve, polo shirts with a collar. They can be white, navy blue. White or navy sweatshirts may be worn over the uniform. So there's a lot of different options: pants, shorts, skirts, one-piece jumpers. Can be khaki, navy blue, no jeans. There might be jean days though, as part of those dress down days. Navy blue or white leggings. Shoes, we want the students to be wearing sneakers and closed toe shoes. And if you're having a difficult time with meeting these requirements, we're going to work with you. We have some uniforms that are available in our nurse's office. So please do not hesitate to reach out if you need support with that. So I quickly want to talk about some priorities for the year. Some of you may be aware of this. I was at the high school for the past 3 years. So this is my first year here at Beachmont. And coming in, I set kind of 3 priorities with the staff. And your sons and daughters are so lucky to have the support of this incredible staff here at Beachmont, my fellow bees. But 3 priorities that we've identified, and this has been adopted from the state of Massachusetts. Kind of came up with this roadmap, understanding that some students have been out of the physical building for a significant amount of time, and there's a lot of things that have been going on inside, outside of school, but we want to make sure that we welcome students back into the building in a safe way, right? So we have 3 priorities, and the first one is to foster a sense of belonging and partnership among students and families. So this is one of my first steps, introducing the staff tonight and welcoming every single one of you to our Meet the Teacher night. But we hope to have a lot of community events throughout the year that we want to bring the community back together and to really build this partnership among school and families. Priority number 2 is to continuously monitor your son or daughter's understanding in a variety of different ways. That's not just doing assessment after assessment after assessment, but meeting your students where they are. So we've spent the past couple of weeks here really just getting to understand who your son or daughter is and to see where they're at right now, and to put some supports in place for every single student pretty much, to see what they are able to do, and then we'll have a plan moving forward to get them to be able to meet those grade level expectations. Priority number 3 is really to ensure grade appropriate instruction with just-in-time scaffold when they are needed. And this is something that staff is working on every single day. Staff has a professional learning group time every single day where they're talking about instruction, talking about your son or daughter, talking about the supports that we need to have in place. So we're up and running right now. And I think that, these priorities are something that I'm going to revisit with staff consistently throughout the year. And I'm going to check in with parents as well to see how we are doing. So in the past, we have done a school-wide behavior management system. We've used something called PBIS, and we're kind of rethinking it this year. It's going to be called the 4 Bs. And these are going to set some school-wide expectations. Students know what positive behavior looks like in different areas of the building. Students will be receiving points for demonstrating this positive behavior. And we have some fun things planned for every single student in terms of celebrations and really recognizing doing the right thing. So as you see, and some parents that might have some older students probably recognize this sign here, but we have 4 real pillars that we are trying to make sure that every single student is on the same page about, and that's being respectful, being responsible, being safe, and being kind. 4 things that I would hope my daughters that are just kind of entering the school system as well, that they are being exposed to every single day as well. So I really like what was created a couple of years ago, and we're going to build on that this year in terms of these 4 pillars. So something that parents can do is to download the Class Dojo app. And I know that some teachers have already started kind of tracking some of these positive behaviors that are going on in class, and more information about what that looks like will be taking place later on tonight. But really, we want to just reinforce positive behaviors and set goals for improving behaviors that maybe don't meet those expectations. Something that I've really been impressed about in my 3-4 weeks since the school year started, but a couple months here at Beachmont, is that the teachers do hold students to high expectations. And, if they don't get it that first time, there's going to be an opportunity to do it again. So we have kind of instilled a growth mindset across the entire school. This is not new, but I want to make sure that we do touch base on this and that we all are on the same page. Just a quick COVID-19 update. This information went out to families from Dr. Kelly a number of weeks ago. But just so we're all on the same page, all RPS staff and students will be masked indoors, and teachers have been doing an excellent job of that. Social distancing is not required, but encouraged whenever possible. So classrooms, and you'll see this tonight, are set up in a certain way so that students are not really on top of each other. Pool testing, so the routine COVID-19 safety check takes place every Monday. And many people on this call have probably consented to this pool testing. And it's really going smoothly so far. It's kind of this new norm that we have to live in right now. And this is our second week doing pool testing, and we would alert any families that might be considered a close contact. And I don't want to jinx myself, but last week, we came back all negative last week. But we understand that this year it's going to be challenging, but we want to make sure that these measures are in place. We have a fabulous nurse, Adrienne McGuire, that some of you may know, and she will continue to do this contact tracing when there is a positive case that's identified in the school community. And as I said before, classroom space will be organized to maximize the space, but also making sure that we're trying to be at least 3 feet away from one another. I'm sure your son or daughter told you about what lunch and recess looks like. And we haven't gotten here in bullet point number 1 because we're fortunate at Beachmont where we can have students really space out in the cafeteria, but we are looking to put plans in place where we can eat outside. We have been doing a really good job, and this is led by Ms. Kay, ensuring that students have masks on when they are not eating or drinking in the cafeteria. Establishing effective routines around eating lunch, masking, and socializing. So we have seating charts that are in place that help us with if there were to be contact tracing that needs to happen, assigned seats that are in the cafeteria, and really just spreading out within that cafeteria. But fortunately, we had, I'll say this, we had some mosquito issues early on in the year, so we didn't want to send students outside. So once we're clear outside, I think we are going to be getting out there when the weather permits. And I know that this is a lot of information. Again, this is going to be recorded, and I'm going to be available to answer questions. I do want you to get to the most important people, and those are your son or daughter's teachers, to hear a little bit about what's going on every single day. So we do have a parent coffee that's scheduled for this Thursday, September 16th, from 8:45 to 9:45 outside by the playground. So I guess it's supposed to rain on Thursday again. Surprise, surprise. So just look for an update about that. I'm going to try to potentially do this in the cafeteria with parents, but free coffee. And this gives us an opportunity to really ask questions in a smaller group, and for you to get to know me and our family liaison a little bit better. We're in the process of putting together our monthly newsletter that's going to be sent home electronically. So be on the lookout for that the last week of September. And if there's announcements or things that are going on within the greater community, feel free to reach out to me and we can include that within our newsletters. It's not just about what's going on in the school, but also what are other opportunities outside of school that our students can get involved in. And then just my final real thing is just make sure that you are receiving emails. I've been trying to bounce back and forth between sending emails that through a system we have through our school called Swift K-12. And I am new to Class Dojo, but I'm going to be trying to use Class Dojo as much as possible. Make sure that you're signed up for that as well. There's an email that went out a couple of weeks ago about that. And I know that there is just a lot of information that's sent via email. So I really just want to say that if you do have questions or concerns, I am a phone call away. I can hop on a Zoom. We can have a parent meeting. We are available. So don't get overwhelmed. As I said before, I have a daughter that just started kindergarten. It seems like every other day I'm getting some kind of communication from the school. And sometimes I'm just like, stop. But, we want to kind of over communicate now at the beginning of the year to make sure that, we all are on that same page. So here's our agenda for the evening. I know that some teachers did this with sending letters home. Some teachers emailed through Class Dojo. There's accessible Zoom links that they have sent, hopefully electronically to you, between 5:30 and 7, not 7:30 teachers, between 5:30 and 7. This will give you an opportunity to, learn a little bit about what's going on in your child's classroom, expectations, learn a little bit about, the person that's with your child every single day, and the team that is with your child every single day, and how to communicate with them. And, I hope that this is one of many nights this year that we can all kind of come together as a greater community. So this is a great opportunity. We do have some students from Revere High School that will be helping with translating. So as I said before, this Zoom is being recorded, and I'm going to upload it to YouTube within the next probably half hour or so. If you want to watch this again, because I know that it was so riveting, you can. And if you need it to be translated, there is a closed captioning function that you can choose a language of your choice. I think it has hundreds of choices and options there. But if you do have any questions throughout the night, there's my email. So C. Freisen. I had some first graders calling me Mr. French Fry today. First grade jokes, but that's how Friesen is not my last name, Chris Freisen. So if you have questions or concerns, you can always reach out to me. I'm going to stop sharing for a second, I hope.
And if I could say one thing about the PTO, even just during this presentation, a parent reached out and said that although they work full time, they're still very interested in joining the PTO in some capacity. So I want you to know, if you join, if you can't commit to everything, but maybe you want to take on one event or one fundraiser, we really want you for that too. So, you don't have to think that you have to be the president and do everything, but if you can commit to, one thing or one event, that would be amazingly helpful.
Just going through some of the questions. Ms. Kay, thank you for answering those. But enough of me talking. I think that this is going to be, it's weird that we're doing this virtually. We were hoping that you could come in and see how clean our school is, how nice the classrooms are set up, and really to see what your student, your son or daughter experiences every single day. Hopefully, parent-teacher conferences later on in the year, we will have that opportunity. But tonight it's really about hearing from your son or daughter's teachers, getting to know them a little bit more, and to really begin this process of fostering strong relationships between the home and school, because we are only as strong as this entire community. So don't hesitate to reach out to me, but I'm going to kind of give everybody a couple minutes here to get themselves situated. If you do not have your son or daughter's Zoom link for their class, please email me or reach out directly to that teacher. Does anybody have any questions before we go? Well, it's going to be a fabulous school year. And as I say every single morning, to the faculty and to your son and daughter, it's a great day to be a bee. So thank you all, and I'll stay on for a couple minutes if you have questions, but you are free to move on to the next part of the night.
Mr. Freisen, there's a question about the after-school program.
Yes, I ask this to them every single day. Once I have information, I will be sending that out, but I think that they are still short-staffed. And this is unfortunate. I know that there are many parents that are waiting on that. Ms. Kay, you could probably stop recording.
Oh,